It's the 30th of April, Rabbi Furst, Pierke, Avos. Okay, so we're in volume Hey.
I think we should be involved.
Vav. Okay, let me go get Vav. Okay, I've got Vav.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so we're in the sixth chapter, and it's according to my listing, it's the fourth Mishnah there. Kachi Darkish Torah. Yeah, if you see it.
Okay, let me see if I can find where we are. I see Tuf Kuf Pei Vav. What
It'll be in the sixth chapter of Pirkei Avos.
okay, I'm sixth chapter, you mean the book that says Vav? Or you're talking about okay, so I'm in the book that says Vav. And then I see on the top of the page, I see like Tuf Kuf Pei Vav, for example. What letters there do I want?
I'm not sure what that's referring to exactly. In Pirkei Avos?
Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong book. I'm in Mishnah Berurah. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Okay, no problem. We'll get to Mishnah Berurah maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see about Mishnah Berurah.
Okay, so I want Pirkei Avos. Where is that? Well, let's get my Ethics of Sinai out. So we're in the sixth chapter. I think that's the third volume. Let's see. Mishnah 7. Perek Vav. All right, I want Perek 6. Perek. Okay, Perek 6. And what chapter? What Mishnah?
I think in my listing it's number 4.
Mishnah 4. Okay, this is Mishnah 1, 2. 3, 4. Okay, Mishnah 4. Such is the way of Torah study. Eat a piece of bread with salt. Does that sound like the right one?
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
Okay. All right. Sorry it took me so long to get there.
No, fine, very good.
Okay. Eat a piece of bread with salt, drink water in rationed measure, sleep on the ground, and live a life of hardship. And in the Torah, do not do in the Torah do you toil. If you do so, happy shall you be, and it shall be well with you. Happy shall you be in this world, and it shall be well with you in the world to come. Okay, that's the Mishnah. So this seems a pretty harsh prescription. I mean, drink water in measured. I mean, water. You have to measure your water. That doesn't sound sensible to me.
Well, you don't want to be extravagant even in drinking your water.
But for health reasons, you're supposed to drink a lot of water.
Oh, okay. So, but you have to know what you're supposed to drink and what you're not supposed to drink.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Uh-huh. So bread and water, basically, you should have bread and water, sleep on the ground. Why is that beneficial?
Well, the general rule is that any type of extras that a person gets himself involved with in this world is going to interfere with his ability to properly learn Torah. So
It would seem to me that getting a good night's sleep on a comfortable bed is gonna be more helpful to learning Torah than to sleep on the ground and wake up all sore and cranky.
well, you've gone out and what do you call it? You've slept in a sleeping bag on your camping trips from time to time, yes?
Sure, yeah. And it's worth it because of the trade-off, but it's not really so desirable to sleep on the ground. And it's hard and your hip gets sore and it's cold.
Yeah, I mean it's true,
Yeah.
but as I said, I mean you mentioned the key phrase, that the trade-off is worth it. That's the point, right?
Right.
That for Torah, the trade-off is worth it. I mean, of course, almost anyone would prefer to sleep in a nice, comfortable bed, right?
But
But
why is there that trade-off? I mean, when you're going into the wilderness, the trade-off is that in order to be able to get to a place where it's pristine, where you're away from people, you don't have the sound of cars and the lights of the city, and all that stuff that is interfering with your ability to enjoy and appreciate the natural world. That's the trade-off. That's the benefit you're getting. But with Torah, I'm not understanding why there is a trade-off. I mean, I can understand you're saying if you're excessively involved with all kinds of pleasures of the world, that it's going to interfere with your ability to learn. That I understand. But simple pleasures like being able to get a good night's sleep, why is that contradictory to learning Torah?
Okay, so basically, sometimes if a person's involved with his learning, so in order to probably get to the conclusions, he's going to have to lose sleep over it, right?
Right.
You've probably heard stories about these, these inventors, Edison or the other guys, and they staying up all kinds of hours doing their experiments and such.
Right, I hear that.
So, and that in a certain way that led to their breakthrough. The breakthrough was because of their determination. Like I'm sure a lot of people would have liked to invent the light bulb, right? But only,
Right.
we attribute to Edison because of, I think I forgot, he was looking for that incandescent filament and he was experimenting day and night over it. And finally, he got to it through his determination. Without that determination, so, I'm sure there are many other people wanted to try and do it, but maybe some had equal determination, but they just didn't have the siyata d'ishmaya to be picked to be the one to do it.
Okay, I hear that.
We'll try and get to the Meforshim. I don't have time to just, coming out of Pesach, so I haven't had time to get to them. We'll set up some sheets and send you some documents with the Meforshim on how they explain it. But that would be my first general explanation.
Right, right. Okay, so I'm looking at Ethics from Sinai
Sure.
by
Okay.
Bunham.
Good.
You want me to read a little bit about what he says?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so eat a piece of bread with salt. One hungry man eats some black bread and a raw onion, while another eats a thick steak smothered in potatoes. Is the first one's pleasure any less than the second one's? Not really. There are accounts of people who, through a major accident or quirk of fate, had nothing to eat for days. The first food and drink that then reaches their lips tastes indescribably delicious. On the other hand, an old Yiddish proverb assures us, when the mouse is full, it finds flour bitter. The Midrash tells of the time that Solomon was deposed from his throne by Ashmadai, king of the demons, and he had to wander as a beggar seeking alms. Once a man recognized him. Eagerly he took Solomon to his home, slaughtered an ox, and served the king a truly royal feast. But throughout, to taunt spitefully, he kept prattling of the glory that had once been Solomon's. Unable to bear such memories, the king wept silently through the entire meal. The next day, a poor man recognized him and offered to share his bit of vegetables with the monarch. During the meager ghost of a meal, the man sought to comfort Solomon by showing him that the Almighty would certainly return him to his throne. And Solomon found his food most satisfying. When he did regain his throne, he eventually wrote, "Better is a dinner of herbs where affection is than a fatted ox where hatred is." It is possible then that even bread with salt and the ration of water can be greatly enjoyed. There is far more to good eating and a happy digestion than the food itself. If you do not agree, ask any physician specializing in psychosomatic digestive disorders. The Torah student does not live to eat, but eats to live, that he may continue his sacred study. His meager fare can be easily more satisfying than the lavish dinner which the harassed business executive takes with his tensions and washes down with his irritations. In the second case, the food may be eaten. In the second case, the food may be eating the person rather than the reverse. Rabbi Avraham Farizol's comment seems uncannily ahead of his time. He derives from our text that a sparse diet is better for the psyche, leaving it ready to absorb the Torah's truths. Moreover, he adds that it is a safeguard to physical health, and he lived centuries before today's findings on obesity, sugar, and cholesterol. Well, that's interesting. Should I read Sleep on the Ground?
Yeah, you go ahead to that, sure.
If you can sleep, it does not really matter where. There are people who lie awake tossing all night on the most healthful mattresses science can devise. The author of Oloth Ephraim gives a relevant parable drawn from his own time. A rich merchant traveled with other traders to a fair, having to stay at an inn at night. The others spread cushions and quilts on the ground of the common room to sleep on. The merchant lay on the bare floor, only his pack saddle under his head, yet he fell asleep at once. While he stayed awake, the merchant, he fell asleep at once while they stayed awake. In the morning, he explained, "What I have is mine, and it lets me sleep. What you have is not yours, i.e., it has been borrowed on credit, and it does not let you sleep. What the Torah student acquires is really his. It is a gain more precious than rubies, of the Almighty's own teachings that will always give a transcendent significance to his life, maturing him through the years for existence in the hereafter. The possessions others acquire impose obligations, worries, tensions, and they are borrowed possessions. At some point in time, they must be relinquished. The student on the ground may indeed sleep more sweetly and soundly than the high-ranking executive whose vast income is of greatest interest to the Internal Revenue Service." Interesting.
Yeah, so what is it? What do you think? What's the, go ahead, let me hear some more about, what do you think's interesting about it?
Well, at first blush, it seems like it's not really relevant. He slept on the ground, and he slept well because he had a clear conscience. But that's not to say that if he had slept on the cushions, he wouldn't have also slept well. But I think at a deeper level, he's saying that there's a connection between. No, that doesn't make sense. The merchant lay on the bare floor. Fell asleep at once. Why? Because what is mine is, what I have is mine. And it lets me sleep. Now I'm not clear. I'm not clear of the answer to the question. So what? If he slept on the cushions, he would have also had a good night's sleep. I see what it's saying. The student on the ground may indeed sleep more sweetly. Because he's not focused on. No,
Yeah, what's the, it's not, is that's, I think that's the point he's trying to make. He's not focused on it.
not focused on the pleasure.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's what he's saying. He's not focused on the pleasure. He's focused on the Torah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that's more or less what I've been the basic understanding, yeah.
Then it says on live a life of hardship, despite the hardships, such an existence is called living. Whatever the privations and suffering, the student need not despair that his is no life. His growing mastery of Torah will make it all worthwhile. You will live. And let not a Torah student's mother wail that her son does not play enough ball, or that he stays too long indoors. Do not be dismayed. He too is living. Bear in mind too, many a star athlete in school who perhaps graduates into professional athletics finds his muscle-bound existence of later years empty and meaningless. Never so the Torah student. The verb tiyeh is in the future tense. You will live all your life enriched and sustained by Torah. Okay, so that's the point.
Oh,
That because you're focusing so much on the Torah, you're by necessity not focusing on the other things like the playing ball and
This 55 square meters apartment is located downtown Jerusalem. It
right.
may rented furnished or unfurnished.
is that your background or my background?
Yeah, it was a thing. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I think that's what it's getting at. All these things are saying that it's a matter of priorities. It's not that there's anything wrong with sleeping in the nice bed. It's that you've put your energy into buying the bed and making your lifestyle such instead of putting all your energy into Torah.
Right, that's the main focus. I think it's you have to direct your focus, right, on what based on what your priority is. And if you make your priority, the sleeping and the eating, so that's going to necessarily take away from your success in what your real priority should be.
Right. Yeah.
That it's people. I know, even speaking for myself, I mean, the amount of even not even speaking about the actual efforts that you put into it. Sometimes just the thought, like, what's going to be for lunch, Now it's gonna be for lunch. So, you know, uh, spend a lot of, time thinking about that, which you spend sometimes more time planning and preparing the meal than you do eating it,
Right,
which
right,
is sort of kind of perplexing.
right. Okay, yeah, that's helpful.
Okay,
All right, I think our
very
time is up. I think Rabbi Levitt is gonna be teaching today, so I need to go check on him and see what his.
okay. He's gonna be back on the regular schedule for
Yeah.
10:30.
He told
Okay,
me,
very good.
yeah, he told me he's not during Kolomoed, so it's Kolomoed is over, so I think that's what he meant, but I have to check with him.
Very nice. Okay, thank you, Lou. Hope to see you tomorrow.
All right, Emir Hashem, thank you for your help with my personal questions also. That was,
Yeah, very good. And I'm going to send shortly maybe some phone numbers. Maybe you could call some of these. So many people own apartments, and maybe there's one broker for apartments. Maybe you could get a lead from them. Maybe.
oh, that'd be very helpful. Yeah, that's gotta give, I have to give a high priority to that. So thank
Okay,
you.
give a look. You'll get an email shortly.
Okay, cool too.
Very good. Be well. Tomorrow, Mr. Chef.
Bye-bye.